Joining us now to discuss, Nomiki Konst, founder and executive director of the Accountability Project, and Lisa Boothe, Republican pollster and vice president of WPA Research.
Hi, Shannon.
Good to see you both.
Hi.
All right, we are all women, so we will discuss this. The minute that kind of cracked me up there is when the woman kept saying to Carly Fiorina, "How can you prove that you support us? How can you're not supporting women?" And she's like, "I am a woman." So there was definitely a little friction there with those two. They weren't going to agree on much. But Lisa, what do you make of this attack? I mean, does it show that Carly is, appeared to be a threat to the left?
Well, that's absolutely what we're seeing here. And look, when Democrats resort to demagoguery and personal and physical attacks, you know you're winning. And what I think Carly Fiorina does that is really important here is what she does is she points out that this isn't about women's health care for Democrats. For Democrats, this is about protecting a liberal institution that's the nation's largest abortion provider in the country, aborting babies every 90 seconds, and that maxes out to Democrats like Hillary Clinton. Because if Democrats cared about women's health care, they would want to reallocate the $500 million that taxpayers spend per year funding Planned Parenthood and reallocate those resources to the 13,450 community health centers that provide more comprehensive care like mammograms and prenatal care that Planned Parenthood just simply doesn't provide. For each Planned Parenthood, there are 20 of these comprehensive community health centers in the country.
Well, Nomiki, so far Planned Parenthood is winning this fight. I mean, they've stopped any progress on Capitol Hill. I mean, is it that they feel threatened that if the Republicans are successful in winning back the White House, that would be the first real threat to them, because otherwise nothing is moving on Capitol Hill that is going to be any threat to them or their funding?
I think any legitimate Republican in this race knows that a fight against Planned Parenthood, shutting down the government, is not going to work in any Republican candidate's favor. Carly Fiorina, though, is reinventing facts. She has been fact-checked by everybody from the Politico to the Washington Post to Chris Wallace's, Fox News' Chris Wallace has fact-checked her claims, which are completely fabricated. But the thing is, she said this.
We can't say completely fabricated. I mean, I think that she had some problems in the retelling of the story. I've seen the videos. I don't know if you guys have watched them all.
And that's not Planned Parenthood's footage. And I have watched all of the footage. And none of the footage
why would the footage be Planned? Wait, Lisa, wait. Why would the footage be Planned Parenthood's footage, Nomiki?
It's not Planned Parenthood's footage. She's claiming
that's what I'm saying. Like, why would it be their footage? This was an undercover investigation.
Right. Well, they're saying in her campaign video that she has claimed has been Planned Parenthood's undercover footage that this organization, this fraudulent organization, has created. They're saying that this is a Planned Parenthood investigation. Well, if you're going to defund Planned Parenthood, then where's that footage? There's none of that footage.
No, but here's the thing: Democrats can't defend Planned Parenthood. We're talking about over 17 hours of footage that are documenting the harvesting and selling of baby body parts.
No,
hold on, Nomiki. We're talking about over 17 hours of this footage.
All right, hold on 1 second here, because nobody can hear you guys if you're both talking. And I will say that there are more than 300 hours of this footage. Much of the raw video has been released online. The people who shot this video have said they'd provide all of it to law enforcement, to investigators, to Capitol Hill committees. So the raw video exists.
And it's all been proven wrong.
Here's the problem too. Democrats have a hard time defending Planned Parenthood. We're talking about an organization that is self-sufficient financially, that has $1 billion in net access, that netted over $90 million in 2014, that does not need taxpayer money. And it's hard to defend an organization that's currently facing a federal investigation and facing multiple investigations throughout the country. So it's really difficult for Democrats to try to defend.
Okay, let's give Nomiki a chance here.
1 out of every 5 women goes to Planned Parenthood. 97% of the services that Planned Parenthood provides are things like mammograms, STD testing.
Planned Parenthood does not.
Wait, they do not. Now, if we're going to have this debate, we have to be factual here. They do not, and they will admit that, and that is a fact. They do not provide mammograms. They don't have the machines.
They provide cancer screenings and cancer testing.
So do these community health centers.
Sure, but the community health centers are all independently funded, and many of them are private. So what about people who can't afford health care?
These are federally approved. These are federally approved community health centers.
But Lisa, you're saying.
But Nomiki, you make the argument to me then, Nomiki. Make the argument to me why taxpayers at $500 million per year annually should support an organization that's financially self-sufficient, facing federal investigations, facing state investigations.
We got to go, so let's let Nomiki, final word to you.
Final word is 7 states have proven that these videos are false. Of the work that Planned Parenthood does, none of the abortion work is federally funded. It's against the law.
That is true.
It's against the law.
That is true.
We're not shutting down the government.
That is accurate, but Lisa, Nomiki.
False.
these statements were made on video. The people do not attest that they did not make the statements.
But some of them were not Planned Parenthood affiliates. You have to understand.
These are
that
other people that are involved in the abortion business or the abortion industry in some other way.
You haven't been able to tonight.
We got to leave it there. I would hope that everybody watches the videos, including the raw video online, and make their own judgments about that. Thank you both for a very spirited debate. See why this is such a hot topic on the campaign trail? All right.